All right. So this is William McKenna. His business is freelance photographer and in the photography industry. So what made you decide to open your own business?
Well, I've always kind of had an issue with authority, so I decided that working for myself would probably be the best option. It also means that I don't have to pay anybody. I don't have to, I manage all my stuff. I'm the one controlling the entire operation.
Yeah.
And not that I'm like a super controlling person,
No,
but it's a good gig.
Yeah.
And anybody who can do it should do it.
Yeah, I think it can be really valuable.
Yeah.
You learn a ton of stuff. So regarding like the business plan, the financial side, how much like time and money and planning did it take before you decided to go for it and start it? Did it?
Well, I invested. I saved up some money. I worked for the office at the school and as a photographer, and so I saved up some money from that, and I knew that I needed to invest in a website, to invest in some camera equipment and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. So it probably took me 6 to 8 months to gather all that capital together to really feel comfortable with kind of launching my freelance thing. So that's pretty much.
Okay. And so you said you just did odd jobs or to get the money to start it.
Yeah. I worked as a photographer at the school. Mm-hmm. I still do actually on top of freelance. So it actually worked out really well because I could still be doing photography for the school or something while making money and saving up money to launch the freelance thing. So.
Mm-hmm. Was there? Did you? Because I feel like freelance photography, aside from the camera equipment, is a pretty low. You don't need a ton of money to get started.
Yeah, it's a pretty low budget thing. The really, like you said, besides the camera stuff, which honestly is the most expensive stuff. I think I spend $12 a month on a website, and I will advertise on Facebook every once in a while when graduation comes around or something like that.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you have to pay for studio space or something like that. Mm-hmm. But really, it's super low budget, and once you buy your camera, you're good for the most part.
Yeah.
So
especially with digital.
Yeah. With digital, you don't have to deal with
like a flash drive.
Yeah. So I guess really the only other thing would be like editing software and a computer, which I already had, so I didn't have to invest in that or anything. So
did you have that from your other photo job or just from?
I had that from high school actually. I did stuff in high school similar to photography, so just a coincidence actually.
How did you do photography as a hobby before, or kind of basically get into it and start a business at around the same time?
Yeah, so I would say that it was definitely a hobby in high school. Mm-hmm. And when I got here, everybody needs a graduation picture.
Yeah.
I kind of took that route and I said, I know how to work a camera. Mm-hmm. Probably better than a lot of people do. Not everybody, but a lot of people. Yeah. And I think people would be willing to pay me a decent amount of money for graduation pictures. So, yeah, and these days, graduation pictures consist of, let's go on campus for 2 hours and I'll take your picture and then I'll send you the digital copy. They don't even want to print, so it works out.
Yeah, exactly.
It works out.
Yeah, their parents look at prints if they want.
Yeah. So at that point, it's all income.
Yeah. So I guess you touched on advertising a little bit through Facebook. Have you ever done any other kind?
I've done like live vlogging, I guess you could call it, on YouTube, and I guess I would consider that a form of advertisement. I did that 2-3 times, because the people that I was taking pictures for like wanted other people to see what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So that, and I've advertised my website on, like, I've done a little bit of search engine optimization on Google and things like that, but really nothing too serious. So it's more, I would say it's more word of mouth.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big part of that industry.
Yeah.
And I mean, because you're really advertising you and your work, but you're advertising you more than...
Yeah, you're totally right, because at the end of the day, if you're a jerk, no one's going to want to work.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. All right, so just generally, you said your professional background before starting your own was through the school, shooting pictures. Do you think that was what, besides having it as a hobby, getting that job is what, do you think it pushed you towards, was like a strong influence on something?
Yeah.
Or
honestly, I think...
would you have done it anyways?
I took this career development class freshman year, and we had this panel of like employers come in, and I had business cards at the time. I was like, trying to just start up something. I didn't know what it was yet, and I ended up giving out my business cards to the 5 people on the panel, and 3 of them called me for freelance opportunities. So at that point, I was like, man, I should like do a website, and I should like do a Facebook thing, and I should do this. And so at that point, I really, kind of did that. But at the office, they are like really good about like, telling us we need to make business cards just for like freelance opportunities. So I would say it's a mixture between that and just like the opportunity coming out of nowhere. So
That's cool. Yeah, it sounds like it was more just because you could.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
realize how,
we're all broke, so any chance to make a buck.
or
Yeah.
well, like that video you did.
Yeah, the what's it called? Bid day thing.
Yeah, so that's awesome. That's
It works.
yeah, definitely. So is that, I mean, one of the questions, or one aspect is like, what makes you feel like it's a success? Is it something like that when you...
So it really depends on the client. If, in this case, they just wanted video clips, so I just like charge for the time.
They forced me to
that happened.
But my partner's not there. Did not think, didn't drink, I was there really because of the recruitment.
But in most cases, they're very clear about, they want video, and then they want and then they want the clips also, so they can do other things with them throughout the year, and then they also want pictures and things like that. So depending on the job, different paychecks coming from different services, I guess.
Yeah, different, especially with something like a service, it's never really going to be the same thing.
Right.
There's always going to be something different. Which is interesting, but it's also...
Yeah, no, it definitely keeps it interesting. I did this video project for this construction company one time, and I just had to go to the construction site and like go like this,
Sorority girl video instructions.
Yeah, it was interesting.
All right, so finally, if you could change one thing about your business or running your business, what would it be?
I would change probably the amount of, I would like to be doing jobs consistently, like once a month or twice a month or whatever, but it ends up coming in spurts, like in seasons. So I usually, this time of year is super busy, and then going into December there's nothing, and then at the end of December it's like everything comes back again. So I wish if I could do something to change it, I would schedule things like once a month, or as much as evenly spaced as possible.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Mr.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.